What's up guys, Alan here, and today we're actually going to be doing something a little bit different. So I was watching YouTube videos last night and I stumbled upon this interesting video game called Raw. So today we're going to be taking a look at it and we're going to talk over the pros and cons and some of the reasons why a game of this size might not be possible to make. So without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off, I think the first thing I want to make clear is that anyone and everyone knows that this would be the best game in the world and would easily destroy any game that was on top before. Moving on, let me explain to you what this game is. Raw is an open world, hardcore, massively multiplayer online role-playing game or MMORPG Kickstarter developed by Killer Whale Games, looking to raise at the bare minimum $79,000 that basically is wanting to copy and paste everything that you can do in the real world and put it into a PC and display it on the screen. There'll be lots of lands built over time. Cars, motorcycles, boats, planes, helicopters, real estate, the list goes on. And we'll get more into the details about that stuff later, but first, is a game this promising possible within the next year? Okay, so here on their Kickstarter website, they state in their campaign tab that their early access version of the game will be available in the next 6 to 12 months. Now, let's not jump straight to conclusions because they also stated that they have already been working on this project for 2 years now and have already invested money into it themselves, but they didn't have enough to get it going. Now, they've already raised around $113,000 and their campaign still has 12 days to go. I'm going to throw up a clip of their trailer they made on the screen right now.
Somewhere out there, far away, someone has built a town where you can live, work, do business, and which can be governed. A town is dynamically growing and developing. Each player has an influence and can contribute to its elaboration. Buildings and stores constructed by players cost resources and run out of supplies over time. You can buy land and build your own house, within town limits or elsewhere, wherever you want. Purchase whole islands, play with luxury toys, concentrate on yourself, and improve your skills. Real-life-based work and contract systems will help you gain a stable income. Service equipment with vehicles and work privileges are at your disposal. Find a suitable job, make private contracts with other players, or execute high-risk state contracts. When it comes to power, there is no one more powerful than a mayor, and each player has a chance to become one. Expand and improve infrastructure, provide electricity, build ports, hospitals, police stations. Found new towns in other parts of the island, and don't ignore other players' needs, or things just might go crazy. Hire other players to form a dedicated team, and the sky is going to be the limit. In case you're not interested in government affairs, you can try yourself in business. Start your own production by opening a factory. Build or rent a warehouse to store goods. Everything that can be bought, mined, produced, or captured. Trade through your own or other players' stores. Track demand and deliver goods to car dealerships, gas stations, food shops, and other third-party marketplaces. Find an oil source, start fuel production, and open your private gas station. And don't worry about the land. There's plenty of space for everyone. From steep Rocky Mountains and dense tropical rainforests to arid deserts and sand dunes, an impressive, vast, open world is available for your exploration. environment by land, water, or air. Get into challenging situations and find a way out of them. Meet new players, become friends, or make enemies. In pursuit of income, you're free to choose your own way. Get things done unnoticed, or take the chance and go all in. Want to play dirty? Be ready to face a heavy response from those players who want to maintain peace and order. Whether you prefer to play on your own or team up with friends, be on the side of the law or against it. You'll always have a way to succeed. Explore vast open world. Build your dream house. Trade and do business. Run for mayor. Serve the community. Hire or be hired for work. Do cargo transportation. Or just go nuts and live as an outlaw.
Now, I'm sure you're thinking, how in the world can a game that looks this promising even be accomplished with a small development team within a span of even 5 years? I've got to be honest, I'm asking the same question. What you have to understand is that this is not The Sims or something that is very limited on what you can do. For example, okay, let's think of The Sims on crack and multiply that by GTA RP, and while you're at it, add on some Arma Life and Ark Survival Evolved, and that's basically the epitome of what this is going to be, along with even more. So for those of you who don't know too much about how games are made, this is definitely not an easy task. That's not even the biggest thing either. What's even worse is that if they mess this up, there are going to be some very pissed off people in this world. Alright, enough ranting, let's move on to some of the things they're promising us. First things first, they promise us a town. Here you will be able to find a job, hang out with other players, shop, start your own business, and do many other things and activities. There will be several towns with roads connecting each of them, and each town will have its own mayor, police station, shops, hospitals, etc. Now, if you don't know by now, a hardcore RPG game is a game where all processes taking place in the game will be as close as possible to things happening in real life. So why the name Raw? They say they chose it because you start the game off with nothing but an island and vegetation, basically starting the game in a raw form, as well as harvesting raw resources such as iron ore and such things like that. So to sum things up, you start on an island with some random people in a 100 to 200 player server. Everyone in the lobby then has to choose someone as governor of their town. The governor then forms the team and chooses where the city will be found, how it develops, makes sure nothing bad happens, opens necessary business such as markets, gas stations, police stations, etc., and you go on living your happy life. What's great about this game is that you can also live an illegal life. Say if the police force on your island are trash, you can start selling drugs, become a hitman, or just do some crazy awesome stuff that will lead to a life of having to stay hidden from the government. I don't know about you guys, but growing a multi-million-dollar underground weed business sounds like fun to me. Of course in a virtual world, definitely not in real life. The way they're putting it though is that the possibilities are endless, and I'm sorry to say it, but something like this to me just does not sound possible right now. Now I really do hope they prove me wrong and make me look like an idiot, but I want to go over some of the reasons why this wouldn't be possible. Alright, so number one, you have to release how many things there are to do in this real world we live in. You can be a person who mops floors for a living, be the next Jeff Bezos and create an Amazon, or even be a porn star. The list is endless, and it would be physically impossible for them to add all of the fun aspects of life into this game efficiently within the next 10 to 15 years. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm 100% sure that they could cover the basic day-to-day things about life, like owning a grocery store or working a 9 to 5, but I highly doubt you're going to be able to make the next YouTube platform or news station or be the next Riley Reid like right out of the gate. Not only that, but what if I'm wrong? And say they do happen to pull this off, and you can do anything and everything you want. To me, this could lead to some really bad problems in the real world. For instance, think about it from millennials all the way up to Gen Alpha. No one, and I mean no one, is gonna want to live a life in the real world having to constantly be restricted on what they can or can't do when they can just head over to their PC and play raw and do whatever they want. Worst case scenario, this could honestly lead to everyone being that fat gamer guy you see in South Park every once in a while who sits super far back in his chair with energy drink juice spilt all over his man boobs. Like, we have to have some productive people in life. We can't just have a bunch of people like me who want to sit and play video games all day. And if you do, then you can say goodbye to all your favorite restaurants because no one will be working there. Guess what, buddy? They'll be working at the virtual restaurant in Raw making $10 virtual dollars more than minimum wage, and the world will just be a stinky fat slob. If you guys haven't picked it up already, I'm being overly exaggerative and sarcastic. I highly doubt any of this will happen, but you never know. Think of it this way. If somebody was to ask you what is the scariest possible thing that you could find in the water if you were to go swimming, most people would say a shark, some type of weird fish that could hurt them. You know what my response is? A fucking plugged in toaster at the bottom of the lake, dude. That is the worst possible case scenario you could ever imagine. Sometimes, you know, you gotta think outside the box. Like, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Alright, let's move on to our last topic, which is their stretch goals and the required amounts needed to accomplish these goals. So the first stretch goal is the map works, and the required amount is $100,000, which they have already achieved. They say the map looks good at the moment, which I think it does, but they also say that it still needs to be improved. Next is planes and helicopters, and the required amount is $20,000 more at $120,000. They already have working controllers for them and everything looks good, but there's still room for performance and quality improvements. After that is boats and motorcycles with a required amount of $25,000 more at $145,000. It's pretty much the same as air transport. Everything looks good but still needs little improvements. Next is electricity and communication network with a required amount of $15,000 more at $160,000. They want to add a system where the mayor will be able to provide an electrical and communication system. Right now, each player can have a tablet that catches the mobile base station, and if you move out of range, the tablet won't have service. And if you don't have electricity running to your house, you won't be able to use the microwave and things like that. Pretty straightforward. Next is an advanced metabolism and disease system with a required amount of $30,000 more at $190,000. They already have a simple metabolism system that calculates hunger, thirst, air, temperature, bleeding, and makes adjustments to your health level based on this data. But they want to add in more advanced things such as infections, various diseases, and an encyclopedia of these diseases, which will increase the amount of jobs needed in the medical field. Next is advanced character customization with a required amount of $30,000 more at $220,000. They don't have player customization right now, but they plan to add a base system, and if they hit this goal, they will add an advanced system to be able to fully customize the face, body, height, complexion, facial features, hair and eye color, and so on. Next is advanced weapons with a required amount of $40,000 more at $260,000. They have a basic weapon system with attachment customization, but they want to add an advanced wear system, jamming, misfire, overheating, and more real-world things that can happen when using a weapon. Next is modding support with a required amount of $40,000 more at $300,000. Like I said, this is obviously not an easy task, so they're going to need some more help from the community along the way, and adding modding support will help them out tremendously. And lastly, runtime road building with a required amount of $50,000 more at $350,000. They already have it available for the mayor to build roads, but it is limited, so they would like to make sure the mayor can add roads wherever they want, which would add variety to the game and make things more pleasing. Before we end this video, let's talk about their risks and challenges that they mention. Raw is their first game of this scale and is technically not easy to develop. However, after 2.5 years of development on their own, the work has not stopped nor will it. They really need support to make this thing happen. They're not one of those who makes games for the money, but rather for them to be interesting and enjoyable. I don't know, man. What do you think? Is it a scam, or do you think they can complete a project of this size and this promising? Let me know what you think down in the comments, and let me know if you like these, I guess you could call them game critiquing videos, and if I should make more. If you enjoyed, make sure to like this video if you did, and subscribe for more quality gaming / tech content. Once again, thank you guys for watching. Ciao.